Yeah, baby. Looky there. I did it. I did it, Levi.
I did.
I did 10,645 steps today.
Walking.
Walking. Is that awesome?
Yeah.
How many did you do today?
Walk.
How many steps?
Walk in my bathroom.
You walked to the bathroom?
Walk in my bathroom to pee.
Dear me, Moses. That's not exactly what I planned on putting on video. All right. Tell everybody bye.
Bye.
All right. I'm fixing to start a job. It's going to be a very short. It won't take very long. These two boards are 12 foot long. It's what they call 105 siding. I don't know why they call it 105 siding. But you can put it, there's a lip. Okay. See this? There's an indentation right here, a lip. That lip goes over the top of this. It's thick here and then it dips. I don't know if y'all can see the profile. Okay, so that lip goes right over that, just like that. And so it keeps you from having a gap. Okay, this is an exterior siding, but lots of people use it in their homes. I haven't decided if I'm going to leave it like this. This is going in my bedroom, and this is what my walls are going to be in my bedroom. And it was not something I planned to do today. This was like an emergency trip to get two pieces. These are 12 foot long. The wall that I'm working on is 11. Look at them chickens. Chickens are so crazy in the back of my truck. So I don't know yet if I'm going to leave it with like it would look on the exterior like this, or if I turn it around, if I do it backwards. It's hard to show it this way, but if you do it backwards, you don't get a gap. I mean, you'll have a little bit of a gap, but it's more almost like board to board. You know, you don't see an indentation. I don't know yet which way. I sort of feel like I would like that look of an exterior wall inside my house, like a cottagey look. You could get that cottage look out of this, but I feel like it would look more cottagey if I use that indented side. Anyway, I've got a problem in my bedroom. You guys should remember, any of y'all that's been watching my channel for a while, look at that thing. He just got home with me and he's already flopped watching a movie. When we had the house jacked up and leveled, I got lots of places like where the wallpaper and stuff buckled and bowed. But I also had some, I'm fixing to turn it and it looks horrible. It looks completely horrible and horrible. It just looks horrible. Look over there. Okay, so the wallpaper was ripped. It did that same thing as here. But little man in there, which ain't a little man, but he's still, you know, he's his mind, don't think. I think he picked at it. He says he didn't, but I think he did. And so next thing you know, he had pulled some of the wallpaper was just hanging. It was just hanging down. And I heard him right now just say I didn't do it. Then I could see right over there, it had another split. So I sat down there this morning and I pulled the wallpaper on off, and I wanted to make sure that there was nothing wrong in the wall. So all the brown you see is the old paneling. It's because paneling came off in a layer. Like, I threw away the top layer, and this is the stud. Here's the stud right here. It's fine. This is the back part. This is a piece of the paneling, but the back side of it Anyway, I put my hands all up in here trying to feel, was there anything wet? Did I need to worry about anything? Nothing's wet. It's all dry. It is just old. The house is old. It's a 70 models mobile home. And it needs, you know, it needs remodel. And I guess I'm going to have to start down here, show y'all how it looks when it's done. It's only going to be 2 pieces, but I think it'll look good. And I had to get an outlet extender for that, because when I add that thickness of that wood where that outlet is, I don't want the outlet inset inside, you know, inside. That wouldn't look finished and it won't look nice. So I got an extender to bring that outlet out to match the new thickness of the wall. So anyway, I'm fixing to start on that right now, and I'll show y'all how it's gonna look when I'm done. All right, see you in a second. All right, I got 2 rows in. Now y'all can see on the floor I've got some, it's like 1x6s or something. It's just scraps, but I had to go all the way down under those boards because I didn't want them sitting flat on the floor, because this carpet will be coming up and plywood will go down, and then whatever floor I want will go down on top of the plywood. So I had to have space to be able to get to the carpet, and when the carpet comes out, have space to push the plywood under. So I put that down there for right now. That gave me the space I needed to start the boards on. So that's a piece and a piece, and then one solid long, almost 12 foot. This wall is almost 12 foot. And my room is like almost 12 by 13. So at some point, at least I know how it's going to look, and I love it already. Just those 2 rows, and I'm in love with how it looks. And it looks, if I can just try to make myself only look at the trim and the boards below it, then I know that I'm going to love the white trim on top of the plain boards. So when it's all said and done, this whole room will be that board, those boards. And you can see that I went ahead and did it with the way it would look outside. It's the routed edge up here going down, sitting on top of the routed edge down here. So I could have flipped it the other way and it just been flat and it would have looked like shiplap. But I love this look. So it's done, and I'll just be glad when I can move on around to over here, and then look over there. That's where I had to pull the trim down, because trim came down the corner trim come all the way down. And when it was, you know, it was fine just taking the screws out, but it had caulk. So when I didn't even think, I forgot that I had caulked it. And when I went to pull it, the paper came too. It's like, oh my gosh. And I just stood there for a second staring like, look what you just did. You really messed it up now. Anyway, it is what it is. It's all going to look pretty at some point, hopefully this year. Even if I have to do something like this wall. I mean, I have to move the bed and stuff like that, but because I'm closing that window and the trim comes down, everything comes down, I could just throw up this wall really fast. But a 12-foot board is $20. So, you know, I bought 2 today, and then I had that one little piece left over from the other day. So now I still have one piece out there, the piece that was cut off of the first one down here. So there's still a section out there, and I could have probably put it at that end and gone a 3rd row up, but I didn't do it. I'm just going to wait until I start. But basically right now, if I wanted, I could start coming around this corner, buying 2 or 3 boards a payday, and eventually I would be all the way up this wall, because it's the only wall that's a flat wall that I don't have to cut around windows and pull trim down and put trim back up. This trim will come down The blinds will change because I would rather see these blinds over here and then these cheaper Walmart blinds over here. And then maybe a curtain inside there, a dark curtain. So if any light shines through, I don't think it will because that overlaps and it leaves no room for a gap. Although you do see, like in this board, right, it's hard to see from here, but there is a knot. There was a knot right there. And there's a knot down there on the bottom of that one too. So any of those knots that you can see through, if it ended up being where that window is, you would see light through it. And I don't want that. So anyway, I'm really so happy how that looks. And I'm so happy that Levi, because here's his bed underneath my bed. When he pulls his bed out tonight, there won't be that ugly piece that's been cracked and hanging. And I don't know. He says he didn't mess with it, but I think when that crack, he says it didn't. He didn't. But I just felt like as that piece cracked, he messed, you know, they just mess with things. They're watching their tablet. Kids just do that stuff. Yeah, that's it. I'm just so happy I got this done. And I'm going to be so glad when I just keep going around this room up until it's all done. I can't wait for it to be done. And the floor to be done. I'm not for sure what I'm going to do in the floor. I thought about doing the same thing I did in the bathroom. Cutting the plywood in just like a foot wide. And then I thought, well, I'll just go 2 foot. It's still going to have a sanded edge. I'll still sand the edges so they're round, sort of smoothed. So when they come together, you can see each board. And then it wouldn't take so many. If I did, you know, basically I would be cutting 1 sheet of plywood down the center and getting a 2 foot by 8 foot length. Sand it down, routed the edge, you know, sand that edges down and screw it down and come back and stain it and polyurethane it. And then I'll have my floor done, and I can do it because there's some in here. I'm going to point this downward. This first board right here, the very first one in the room, it's about 14 inches wide. It was the last board to do, and when I come and measured and it was 14, I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to try to shave one down. I'm just going to go with that. So I just cut it at 14 and put it down, and it looks pretty. So yeah, I might do that. Do something like that. Just cut them in half and router the edges. Because if you see behind me, you can see each edge of each one because I sanded it. So it was stained, and then I sanded the edges smooth. So you can see each individual board when it goes down beside each other. Anyway, and I think no, it's not a hardwood floor, but it looks pretty daggum close to one, and it looks good it looks like one on the cheap. So I would need 5. I think I need 5 sheets of plywood. Anyway, I'm going to probably need to do the floor first. And then, because I'm not going to be painting anything, the floor is going to go down and get stained and polished. And the walls are going to go up and be, you know, raw wood. So there won't be anything in here that I have to worry about getting paint on the floor. So I could probably do that first. Anyway, I got to get done. I love you guys. God bless y'all. And I'll see you later. Katie, I'm trying to do a video.